Afternoon, gentlemen. Active Aussie MGTOW here. Wednesday afternoon. It's 4 p.m. Just a brief video. I want to talk about loneliness and sadness, and I feel that many men get these two things confused with each other. Recently, a few people I know have asked me if I feel alone and if I regret remarrying and regret not having a family. And even my mother has asked me a few times in the past if I feel lonely, and I'd have to say no, I don't feel alone. But in regard to feeling sad, I'd have to say yes, and that's more of a type of regret. I regret what this society has become, and I regret what it could have been. And it's sort of like, I think sometimes it's a yearning for the past, you could say. And as you know, I lived in Asia before. I spent a lot of time in China and Thailand, Hong Kong, China and Thailand. And occasionally I receive an email from one of the Asian gals I still know over there. I'm still in contact with a few Asian gals, and even though I'm a MGTOW, I stay in touch with some of these gals because I think it's useful to be able to get an insight into their current mindset, and I can also find out what's happening on the ground in Asia at the current time. But occasionally one of these gals will say, Sean, if you are feeling alone, there's always a family here for you. You can marry me, you can become part of my family. A few Chinese gals and Thai gals have told me that, but they seem to forget that I still have my mother, I have my sister, I have my dog Frida, who I just love to bits. It's basically my mother's dog and my dog, or our family dog, so to speak. But just getting back to these Asian gals and talking about regretting certain things. As you know, there are many men, and I suppose we classify a lot of them as passport bros, who go over to these Southeast Asian countries, and maybe some of these men are genuinely feeling isolated and alone, and they think that marrying a Filipina is going to solve all their problems. But I think men have to think very carefully about the consequences of going overseas, relocating for marriage or for whatever purpose, and think about the stress and chaos and disorder that could develop in your life in, say, the next 6 months, the next year, the next 18 months or so, whatever. And is this what you really want? Do you really want to have this type of stress in your life? And a lot of these gals, yes, you may be welcomed into their family, but often it's on the provision that you provide something. This is not unconditional. As long as you keep on providing the resources, the funds, yeah, you'll be welcome into their family. But if you cut the money off, so to speak, you may not be so welcome. And I know for a fact that this occurs. So like I said in another video, a lot of these guys, these passport bros, go over to the Philippines and basically they're just leading with their wallet. Basically, you could say that they had nothing else to offer. So it ends up becoming just a type of glorified prostitution. That's my opinion anyway. Plus it can be very difficult to live in another country, and a lot of guys, they just come unstuck. But I think that loneliness and sadness, sometimes those two things can be intertwined, but they are two separate issues. And sometimes what you might think, you might feel is loneliness is just a type of sadness or regret or a type of yearning for the past. That's all I really want to say. I tried to make this video a bit earlier over in Wilcox Park, but there was like a cacophony of cicadas, and when I played back the video, it was just way too loud and very distracting. So I thought I'd come up here to this quieter part of the forest. The traffic's actually good sometimes because it sort of keeps the insects away and drowns out their sound sometimes, so it can be a good thing and a bad thing. I think that is a Brazilian pepper tree just there, and one just down here. Just noticed that, and they are classified as a noxious weed here in Queensland, so maybe some of you guys listening and viewing have seen these in your neck of the woods too, but they're a pest apparently. Anyway guys, that's all for now, and thanks for listening and viewing as usual. I'm going to try and make a fishing video soon because it's really good tides at the moment and the weather is quite good, not too windy, so pretty good conditions. Anyway gents, that's all for now, and hopefully I can talk to you very soon.